All right, let's take a look at some stories from here in Nigeria. The search is on for scores of prisoners who escaped from a prison near the capital, Abuja, after rain damaged part of the building and brought down a perimeter fence. At least 119 prisoners managed to break free, and the prison authorities said 14 inmates have been recaptured, and a massive manhunt is underway to find the remaining. Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss the jailbreak and the need to expedite reforms to decongest Nigerian prisons with a view to improving the welfare of the inmates. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale, and a warm welcome to the program today.
It's a pleasure being here, Suleja.
Right. Mr. Sobowale, one of the things that struck me yesterday when the Minister of Interior was addressing the media from outside of the Suleja correctional facility was that he noted that this facility is supposed to hold 250 inmates, but there are over 400 inmates, you know. So considering the conditions that inmates are living under, the general state of affairs, are you surprised that they would take this opportunity to escape?
Normally, if you are in custody and the door suddenly flung open, will you still stay? You bolt. That's natural. But in this case now, you see, you must separate the issues involved. The first one is climatic. The other one is congestion. And then the third, which is my own now, is policing. Now, there was a heavy rainfall and the building collapsed and the people escaped. Even the minister or somebody said the building was built maybe 1914. Very, very low. So infrastructural problem. You see, on the climatic weather condition, there's not much anybody can do about that. The building was in poor shape, the weather was wild, but then, you know, in the best of conditions, when nature decides to act, it will hit what is on the ground with all the force it has, which is what has happened. The structure was weak and old and collapsed. Maybe another structure will not have collapsed. That is on the issue of weather. So the minister is in a place to promise to do something better. But then the other issue is congestion. You get me? Statistics that we have says that 7 out of 10 people in custody are people awaiting trial. 7 out of 10 in the whole of Nigeria. See, I'm not for us to expand the building of prisons because we railroad ourselves towards raising a nation of criminals. What is important is that we improve the morals of society and shorten the gap between the rich and the poor, alleviate poverty, and give people opportunities to pursue their daily living in a safe and secure environment. Then we will not have as many criminals as we have, so that we are now fighting each other over how we have to treat people who are in prison almost better than those who are not out of it. We should be rewarding those who are not in prison anyway. That's it. But you see, I think our problem, aside from the policing, is the quality of policing that we have. If you look at the way the policemen or police stations or DPOs are rated, it depends on the number of arrests or charges or prosecution they do. I don't mind the prosecution if they prosecute diligently and fast. But you see, the charging and the billing of people for crimes, is what attracts many people to the job, because that's how they show their social power in terms of social control in society, which is their job anyway. But then when you don't have rooms to keep people, why are you keeping them in custody? It does not make sense. Get me? And there seems to be a pervasive thing in society. If you watch our local films, they show films of police beating up people, slapping people, and things like that. You see, that brutalizes society. And it is not good for society, it's not good for the image of the police. I think they will eventually have to do something about that. But you see, the congestion, I don't subscribe to us building more prisons. You get me? We can speed up the cases of those who are, who are not being put on trial. I think we discussed this sometime here. The CJ, the chief judges in the states go to do that. But they are supposed to do that maybe quarterly. But most times they don't even have time. So they do it. So I think the first thing is to look at our criminal system. Our criminal system, to see that we just don't confine people. You get me? This sort of situation that led to people in the US saying that they want to defund the police. Because over there, their own problem is poverty and racism and violence. And they say 9 times out of 10, they believe when they see somebody who is a black man committing a crime, they are more likely to book him and put him in prison than a white man. But we don't have no such demarcation here. But our own is poverty, and I won't call it over-policing because it will be like desensitizing the police because they must do their job. But not everything has to be taken to the police station.
Absolutely. Mr. Sobowale, we have about barely 2 minutes, but we also understand that recidivism rates in Nigeria remain exceedingly high, and that's obviously suggests that the current approach that's
Say that again, please.
Recidivism, which means that prisoners that are released probably will go back to their life of crime.
Okay.
So we see that remains high in Nigeria. So that suggests that the current approach to rehabilitation and reintegration, especially of ex-offenders back into society, is not working. What would you like to see in that regard?
No, it's the opposite that is happening in Nigeria. So people are released. If they are released, we won't have 7 out of 10 awaiting trial. Do you get me?
For those that have actually gone through the prison system and are reintroduced into society, statistics are actually saying that they go back to their life of crime. So what would you like to see in that regard to prevent something like that from continuously recurring?
Let's demarcate it. There are those who have gone to prison, served time, and come out. Those are diehard criminals. They still go back. But there are those, you see, who are given, I'll give you an American example now, who, because they say they want to decongest the police and decriminalize, and so they said bail. It's not every crime that they say bail. You get me? So the police are told to release people, not just keep them and take them to court every time. Do you get me? But most of these people, once they go out, even they put equipment on them to monitor, they do the same thing. You see, that is the criminal nature. You see, you may hold society responsible for that, but then everybody comes out of the family, single father, single mother, the complete family. The way people are raised and the way they are brutalized criminalizes their outlook to life. You get me? And invariably it's upbringing poverty and discrimination. But in Nigeria, you see, it is amazing. People who cannot go to school, you get me, have opportunities to be exploited by criminals and gangs. And that is why it is a cycle. They always go back. But I think what we are talking about now is the fact that more people are in prison and they are waiting trial. They are not criminals yet. The law says you are presumed innocent until found otherwise. So something has to be done about that. And I don't want to be seen as condemning the police. I would say it is over-policing. But then if they are judged by the number of charges they bring against people, what do you expect them to do? Yeah. But then the alarming figure should to really make the authorities sit up. And it's not on. To have 7 out of 10 people in prison awaiting trial, that is not justice. It's not reform.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Mr. Dayo Sobowale, I really wish we had more time to unpack, but I think you've done justice to the time that we had. Thank you so much for your contribution on this topic today.